So what if you only spent money or energy or time on things that truly moved the needle or truly helped you in some way or helped your business or helped you? What if you chopped out everything else? What if you did a major spring cleaning and just threw out all that junk you're not using? And from a business sense, you canceled all those subscriptions you're not really using, and you stopped that program, and you unsubscribed to a bunch of newsletters. And this is what I've been doing for much of 2025. I'm Bradley Charbonneau. This is Thursday Thunder, and today we're going to talk about how it took me all of like 22 hours after I said I'm not buying another course or webinar or anything to buy my first webinar and course. Now, why did I do that? Why am I sitting here admitting that I basically just did what I said I wasn't going to do? Because it made sense. Because the timing was right. And the how, what, why, and who was all right on target. And this is exactly what her name is Melissa Ricker, and she runs a program called Quiz Funnel Bootcamp, which I signed up for yesterday. Now, why am I admitting this, right? Because you say, Bradley, you just said you're not going to buy any new courses or webinars or, sign up for any groups or boot camps. Right. I'm not going to do anything that is not in absolute alignment with the future and success of me and my business. So she had me early on in her webinar. It turned out to be 2 hours. I stuck around for the entire thing. I bought it all hook, line, and sinker. Although later I'll tell you that she had a price that was too good to refuse, because I was ready to refuse. I was talking with my partner, Charlie Holiday, throughout, like live texting my notes throughout the webinar. And Charlie Holiday was saying, like, all right, you're not going to do it. All right, here she's going to come with this big, offer. Oh, it's going to be, only 3 more days. And the price is going to go up later. All the good stuff. Hey, Pepper, come on. Pepper. Pepper is in his own world. So Pepper is in full alignment, by the way, just for you viewers tuning in only for Pepper. Pepper is in absolute and utter alignment, but he always is. So I'm listening away, right? And I'm talking with Charlie Holiday, and I'm like, all right, I'm not going to buy this thing. And I'm like convincing myself that I'm not going to buy this thing. And the longer she's doing her spiel and doing her talk, I'm like, wow, this is good. And I even told her in a chat, and I don't say this very often, but this was one of the best, informational webinars, whatever, I've been on in a long time. Hey, doggies. Hello, doggies. Oh, I have another doggie. Nate. Toll. So, okay, slight disruption there. Hope you like dogs. She had me early on. And why is this? It's exactly what just happened, right? For her, I was in the middle. She had this thing like ice and cold and neutral and warm and hot and customer, something like that. Like, you have a cold lead or a warm lead, right? Someone who is, how close are they to signing up for your thing or buying your book or hiring you as a coach, whatever, right? And so it was really good. She was talking, ice. And so ice is like, I don't know you at all. And I'm going to offer this thing and you don't know me. So why would you do this thing? And then she talked also about how do you get to know, how do you go from ice to cold to neutral or whatever. And that was one thing she was proposing, right? And I have been a fan of quizzes or surveys or people don't like when you call it a personality assessment or whatever. And there's another word, psychographic representation of sort of who you are or your, who you are. It's like what she used the example, like what type of Disney princess are you? And you do this quiz and you find out, oh, I'm, Cinderella, whatever, right? So you're interested because, and she had another awesome sort of tidbit here. It was something like, people want to find out about themselves. Very interesting, right? So she said, like through a quiz or a survey or whatever, something, if people can find out something more or deeper or different or additional, like about their own selves, of course, right? Then they're interested to know more. So even the silly example of what type of Disney princess are you, you're kind of curious, right? Like, I don't know, what type of Disney princess am I? Let me find out. And how many questions are there? Oh, there's only 5 questions. I can get through this, and then I can find out what type of Disney princess I am, right? So if you're following my work at all, you'll know I'm busy with, it's a sort of a triple header project, but because I'm down to 3 projects for 2025, I can name them right now. There's Now What, about decision making. There's One, which is ultra focus. And then OPA, or other people's audiences. And that's all about promoting yourself and your brand. And they all wrap in together, right? And so if you take that second one, it's the first one and the second one combined. I have this entire structure. If you've watched some of my videos lately, you'll see this is all I'm doing. I've got villains and heroes and guides. This is all very much based on the hero's journey framework, as well as Donald Miller's story brand, which I'm a huge fan of. And he talks about he and what's called the hero's journey talk about villains and heroes and journey and guides. And I've sort of translated this into my own version of it, very Repossible-esque. And now what I want to do, for example, and this is why I wasn't an ice cold lead for Melissa Ricker and her quiz funnel bootcamp, because I was already really on the hunt for some help with quizzes and how do you do them and how do you get into the psychology of quizzes and the answers and then the results, and then how do you show the results and share the results, and okay, what type of princess are you? Okay, well, how does the tech work, right? How do you answer the questions, and how does that translate into, oh, well, I'm Cinderella. Well, how does that work behind the scenes? And then and then technically speaking and administratively speaking, how do I get the, Cinderella PDF to the Cinderella princess, right? And I'm super interested in these things. So what she said was very much in alignment with another group I'm a huge fan of, which is Peaceful Prophets and their One Book Millions method. And they are always talking about how use your book as your lead magnet, so to speak, to use a cheesy marketing word, but use the book to get to know the client, to turn the potential client from ice cold into maybe from ice maybe into cold, and see where they are and see if they want to talk with you further. So, hey, Marcia.
Hi.
And so the example I like to use is like the dating scene. And so, not because I'm in the dating scene, but the dating scene is you meet the complete stranger, at the bar, and maybe it's through an app or whatever. You meet them at the bar and you say, "Hi, I'm Bradley. Do you want to get married and have kids and live the rest of our lives together?" Right? That's not going to go over well because it's an ice cold lead and you're talking about this big commitment. And so rather than do that, what if you said, "Hey, I'm Bradley. Should I get us some mango juices?" Okay, now it also tells a lot about me. Like, mango juice? Seriously, who is this guy? So I don't know, maybe it's a little intriguing. I often talk about mango juice, but you get the idea. So the cold lead, remember, the cold lead has like seconds potentially to get to know you, right? Because if I say, "Hey, let's get married," that's way too big of an ask for such a ice cold lead. So better is, "Hey, how about some mango juice?" And mango juice is kind of weird, right? It's kind of intriguing, kind of like, who is this dude in the mango juice? What's up with that? Oh, I'm intrigued. Let's talk further. Yeah, I'll have a mango juice. Great, then we have mango juice. And now we just went from ice to cold or whatever. And then we want to get to Luke. I don't remember what she called them, but she had this really nice sort of system. Anyway. Oh crap, I'm at 9 minutes. I want to wrap this up. Basically, I signed up, the whole kit and caboodle, for a month-long quiz funnel bootcamp, and I'm going to do everything she asks me to do, and I'm going to put together the most awesomeness, amazing quiz or survey or funnel that will help you, here's my pitch, help you decide which villain is holding you back, right? The villains are like, overthinking Oliver and Mañana Mateo. Mañana Mateo is all about like procrastination and doing it tomorrow, and overthinking Oliver is all about analysis, right? So which villain are you and which hero? So then there's a successful side. Which hero do you want to be? I'm not even getting into guides yet. Okay, I'm out of time. It's been great. It's Thursday Thunder. Every single week, I'm bringing it. Are you coming? Bye for now.